Thank you guys for tuning in to the Video is Awesome podcast, where you come to change your creative mind. And hopefully, just hopefully, we can help you have your lifestyle and content creation have a baby. That's the goal here. And I know that that's exciting. It certainly is. Absolutely it is. Let's get that on the right track, okay? Now, don't expect seriousness from this show when it comes to humor, because my jokes may be like dad jokes, but you're going to like it and you're going to enjoy it. And that is one of the first lessons of content creation, is you must enjoy it. But I want to explain a little bit before we get into that, the reason for this podcast. As some of you may know, my name is Bryan Bowermaster. I own a company called Bowermaster Productions. I've been doing video production for a long time now, and I've talked with a lot of business owners. I've talked with a lot of investors and just good friends and family who have passion projects, and they do what they want to do. And I've learned something along the way. People do not necessarily know why video works. And they have an idea, and some of these things they're correct on, but a lot of it doesn't apply to their demographic, because maybe they know their demographic in some regard, but they don't really know why they consume video. They don't really know what sparks their interest, what moves their soul. Even if you have an emotional alignment with some folks, you may not be feeling worthy of some sort of message or expression regarding your own story to reach out. So that's what we're going to talk about here. The reason for this podcast is to bring people closer to that authentic understanding of why has the world gone crazy for video, and why does it work, and what does that mean for you from where you're at. You see, everybody has a lifestyle, and everybody has a purpose for creating content. And so what we do is we help you bring that together, make sense of that. And just to give you a little bit of background on me, you're going to be listening to me and guests throughout the journey of this podcast. So make sure and follow and subscribe and stay connected, because there's a lot of benefits that are going to come with this. But as I meet with guests and we share different things, you're going to get to benefit from all of the expertise here from myself, as well as others that I interview regarding this very important topic. And as far as my background goes, not only do I have a slew of skills and talents that connect to the visual arts, but I also have taken the time to get what one would say is equivalent to above a PhD, a doctorate, even higher in psychology. I've had not only a formal degree and formal areas of study, but I've done so much self-guided education. And little did I know, later on in life, I was going to start a business in the visual arts that would directly tie to that. And that's how I want to benefit you guys. That's what this podcast is for. You are going to get to benefit from a lot of things. Let's just talk about that for a second. So the point here is to demystify video production. I want you to be inspired through your own story, but also telling stories that connect to your story, so for the benefit of where you're coming from. And that way you can have a community connection through your content. That's the reason we do it. I know there's a lot of ridiculous content out there, and there's a lot of different reasons for creating it. But ultimately, if you're in business, or you're an investor, you're taking this seriously. You have a real reason to be creating content. So that's what we're going to be covering. Now, the reason we're doing this now, the relevance of video, it couldn't be higher. I mean, honestly, right now, video is king. Content is king. So we're going to be discussing the surge in video production and consumption, and why this moment in time is perfect for you to be really focusing on that. And not just focusing on like creating content, but how you can do it. And a lot of people are daunted by this. So we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about the personal motivation to do it every day. And we're going to get passionate about it, because there's a reason. And when you're authentic about something, you don't get so fixated on the results. Yes, results are important. However, there's something magical about doing something whether people are watching or not. Because eventually, it's kind of like being a good person, right? When no one's watching, or that other adage that says, dance like no one's looking. love like you've never been hurt before, right? This all pertains to our authenticity and why we should create content. So we're going to be getting into some amazing things as we go on this journey. I hope you stick with us. Now, what to expect. Another great part about this is you're going to get some free, like all along the way, there's going to be exceptional DIY video production insights that you're going to be able to take advantage of, walk away, use these strategies, benefit from them, and you will soar in your content creation strategies. We're going to outline what listeners have learned. We're going to outline what things are trending, what production companies are doing that has worked and things that don't work, from equipment to simple editing techniques. We know everybody comes from a different place. So the point of the DIY is to be manageable. We don't want you to think that you have to become a video production specialist or any professional in any area of the post, pre, or just production work at all. That would defeat the purpose of you being a business owner and doing what you're doing. You hire a professional for that. But we want to teach you how to handle the stuff you should know how to do, because everybody should be doing some sort of DIY video production in this day and age. We're going to debunk myths in content creation, common misconceptions. We're going to talk about how video production, it's a myth that it's too expensive, or that you don't need a professional to make good videos. These things, the reason we do both, DIY is important, but we also have to teach you that when you reach a certain point, how to hire a professional and what to look for, those things are important. That way you're getting the best value. We have a lot of clunkiness in the video production realm. We have a lot of dishonesty, just like any other industry. Have you taken your car to the mechanic lately? Okay, maybe they're not as bad as they used to be, but still, any specialist you work with, you have to be educated on what is actually necessary for your project, or you will be paying out the wazoo, and it's unnecessary. And especially if you learn how to work in tandem with DIY techniques and strategies along with your video professional, you will make it to the top in such a good way. So we'll be debunking a lot of myths regarding that. We're going to talk about the truth of video consumption, why video is king, and what kind of statistics are out there and what you should be focusing on. Now, the psychology of video. This is an area I'm extremely passionate about, and that's what we're going to be covering. And yes, this is going to be good. I just want to give you guys a lot to think about as to why and how you're going to connect with your people. And that's really what it's all about. We don't want to get surrounded by all of the chaos in trying to figure out every single thing about why it works, but we do want to give you that nudge in the right direction as far as what people are thinking, why it works. There is a psychology to it, but you don't have to get down into the nitty-gritty of everything to the point of losing track of your responsibilities as a business owner. We want you to have the depth, though, the depth that you should have for why you're doing it and what your story really means, how impactful it really is, how meaningful it really is, and ultimately how necessary it is. If you expect to have relationships on the internet form and then and then blossom so that you can actually have some fruit come from those relationships and you can serve these people effectively, you have to know that it matters. Your story matters. I can't tell you how many people I've talked to who they undervalue their story. They think that, hey, I sell hardware. What does it really matter? No. When I don't know about you guys, but especially with the current worldly affairs and everything that's been going, thankfully, I'm noticing people moving back towards community more and more, but I've always been centered on this because I've had too many burns and too many people that have just steered me the wrong way or were dishonest with me, and products that didn't work out. We've all had our customer service experience, but if we're going to be a business owner, we have to believe in what we may not see too, right? Be the change that we don't see. You may see a sea of businesses that are getting away with not really caring so much, not connecting so much, but we're going to help you get past those pitfalls because there is a vein of success that is full of integrity and it does not die. Not only that, it surpasses and withstands any economic downturn. Trust me, I've lived through it. Every awesome business coach and every amazing speaker and thinker and teacher that I've ever looked into and learned from, they all say the same thing. When you have this true way of being, you withstand any economic downturn. And that comes, my friends, with the psychology of video, why it works, and understanding why your story in your community is extremely important. I can't say that enough. And yes, there's multiple ways to tell your story. It doesn't have to be video, but let me tell you, video is the closest thing to recreating life experience that we have so far, other than being in person. So the next thing, we want to talk with business owners about video marketing. That's a given. We're going to talk about overcoming the hesitations and doing a lot of motivational talk about how we can stop limiting ourselves as business owners in our marketing strategies. Investment in content is extremely important. The ROI, you may not see it in the form of money all the time, and that's going to be something we're going to go through. We're going to talk about that at length because a lot of people fall into that pitfall. That this whole world is run by money, so I must see money to equate some kind of success. That's what translates into my investment is working. That's a no-no. That's a big no-no. That's not always true. I can't tell you how many relationships have formed in the businesses I work with. Now, trackability is important, of course. We're going to talk about a lot of things like that. Trackability, conversion, tactics that you can do to make your videos work, and to know that they're working. However, we have to remember that content creation is not always about following people and tracking people. I mean, people are getting more and more tired of knowing that you have their information and you know what they've been looking at. So you have to be careful about that. But there are tactics to do it. And when we know that it's not all about that, we stop holding ourselves back and thinking about the dollar every time we create something or tell a piece of our story. We have to stop that. That's a roadblock. That's a bottleneck in our thinking as far as why we're connecting with people. Not to mention, we all inherently know that the internet is technology, but when we stop treating it as if the end user is technology, it changes the game. So that's another aspect. And I know we're being vague here. We're not going to get into everything yet, but I want to make sure you guys have a rundown because this is going to be an exciting, exciting adventure. And I hope you guys understand that this is how much it really matters. We want to see your business succeed. So that's what we're about here. We're going to have, of course, exclusive benefits for listeners. This is something that is it's unheard of. We don't do it anywhere else. We're going to be offering special discounts only to you guys that listen to this podcast. And that's with our video production company. And we're talking significant discounts, saving thousands of dollars. So when you are ready to do that high-end commercial or a mini documentary, by the way, that brings me to the point. We're going to talk about a lot of different forms of content that people don't always think about are very good for marketing. But you're going to get those discounts only here, and I will know those of you, it will always be known that you are a listener for you to use that for that discount. Now, the call to action here, folks, is to engage and stay connected with this podcast because you're not going to want to miss the things we're going to cover. This is going to be extremely valuable to you. Whether you're on the road, driving to the store, or you're on your way to work, every single time a new episode comes out, I want you to be filled up with something new that changes your creative mind. Because ultimately, we've done it, guys. If you're a business owner, you're an investor, or you're thinking about becoming an entrepreneur, okay? But let's think about it. All of that entails being a pioneer. So we've done that, but we're not done yet. Every single day we must continue to be a pioneer. We must continue to break the mold. We must break through that soil that's holding us back from the next level of growth. And it's not our enemy, not necessarily. It's just the obstacle that's going to make us better than yesterday. It's going to make us stronger than we were before, and that's what we must think about in our community. All levels of business, it doesn't matter how much success you have, how much money you make, or what your goals are. If you are not furthering your ability to be the best steward possible, then you're missing the mark. And all of us as business owners have to face ourselves in the mirror about that every day. Even if we're completely happy with where we're at and we don't need to get any more clients, we don't need to sell any more products, well, we still need to look in the mirror at the end of each day and say, am I doing everything I can for those people that rely on me, those people that come to me and trust me? They recommend me. We stay in business because of our community. Are we doing everything we possibly can to be the best stewards possible for this community? And that, my friends, involves continuing to tell your story, continuing to invest in the proper channels and as many channels as are correct for you in communication and connection with that community. And that's what we're going to do here. We're going to talk about all of those things on the Video is Awesome podcast. And I'm excited for the adventure with you guys. I want to see all of your thoughts in the comments. Any questions you have, that's going to be another aspect of this show, is that we will be taking on your questions. Anything that you've been struggling with, things that you're kind of curious about, take advantage of the fact that you are connecting with experts here. And creative advisory is at your disposal. Now, I gotta say, it's exciting that you're here. Video is awesome. And I'm excited to see how you change your creative mind as we go along. Thank you guys for listening to this first launched episode, and we will have a new one coming out soon for you. Until then, keep on creating.